Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another edition of the Post Fight Show here on the Mandatory. Remember, if you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And also follow us on our social media channels. We're at the Mandatory TKO. You can also see in the description where our names are, the ways that you can connect with us as well. And you can find us on the audio side. So if you are listening to this on the audio side, if you got a couple of minutes, leave a rate and review. Also give us a 5-star because those are the things that helps the channel grow. And if you've already done all of that, thank you so much for rocking with us. Lots to get into. It's been a crazy boxing weekend, one of the biggest. By the way, this is an interactive show, so if you got any comments, drop them. We will be getting to all your comments.
Should we do Subriel Matias and Alberto Puello now?
Yeah, of course. That's the one I was waiting for. So I think it was the most entertaining fight of the night. I was locked in the whole time. That was the fight that I was locked into. I had Puello winning.
Right. I think you're right about that.
It
Yeah.
was. It was the most entertaining fight. It was action the whole time. And Subriel Matias was Subriel Matias. I had Puello winning this fight. And he didn't, but it was really close. So I don't know how the judges scored it. I think, Brian, you had it as a draw.
Although I was okay with 115, 113 in either direction. I thought it was a very close fight. And I don't think Puello got robbed or anything like that. I thought it was legitimately very close.
Yeah,
but I get why Subriel Matias won.
Yeah, I mean, I have to look at the fight again. Maybe I'll score it differently the second time, but I had it scored 115, 113 in favor of Puello. Now, if it goes the other way, like, okay, whatever. But here's the thing that kind of pissed me off. That was a really good fight. Oh. Puello was just champion at 140 pounds, right? Subriel Matias is new champion at 140 pounds. And then you have Turk right after the fight. Instead of saying there should be a rematch, because there should be a rematch, because Puello is Dominican and Subriel Matias is Puerto Rican. Like, already you have the rivalry there. It's a good fight. Both of these guys have those fan bases. Like, this is a fight that people enjoy. And then Turk comes to the ring and he's like, hey, come here. And he's like, you're gonna fight him in November. That's what he said. And I'm like, what? Like, why are we doing this? Like, why? Like, why? Like, I don't understand, like, why this is happening, because we could just get a rematch because it was so close. Like, if Subriel Matias knocked out Puello, or if it wasn't close, I'd be like, okay, great. You bring Dalton Smith in the ring. Okay, I see what you're trying to do here. But don't be like, hey, come here.
That's
like,
the other thing.
I'm just like, what is going? Like, what is this?
I think what happened was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Matias was asked about, like, whatever his plans are next, and I think he entertained the ability, like, entertained a rematch with Puello, and then Turk shut that down and was like, no, you're fighting Dalton Smith next. And I gotta be honest with you, I think a lot of people would be like, I kind of would rather the rematch. I know Dalton Smith, like, Foxy don't shoot, because in the UK, I know Dalton Smith. And look, he's the mandatory. He's deserving of a championship opportunity. But I think a lot of people would be cool with a rematch of this fight. Like, it was a really good fight. I thought Puello was really coming on strong late. I thought Matias banked a lot of early rounds and then may have won another one or two down the stretch, which is what I think nudged it in his direction. I thought it was very close, but I think it was a great fight. And I didn't like, Turk just has, like, so much money and influence right now in the sport, where he feels like, and probably can do whatever, that he's doing it like he's Vince McMahon. He's trying to fantasy book things like months in advance. Like, if this happens, like, it's like he has these predetermined outcomes in his head. Like when Edgar Berlanga was saying, I know we think he's a fool, but Edgar Berlanga was saying, like, yo, like, I already know that they have a plan for you, talking about Hamza Shiraz.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, like, this is, they have, like, you're supposed to have a plan for everybody. Like, Top Rank has had a plan for Michaela Mayer and Sandra Zayas, and once upon a time, Sinisa.
But they don't announce it right away, or like when the other fight hasn't happened, and it's so disrespectful,
right,
to the other fighter. This was happening, and I know Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez wasn't a very entertaining fight, but this was happening during Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez, and it was like weeks before the fight even happened, and it was the most disrespectful thing ever. It's like, why is that happening? I just don't understand. Anyways.
Also, like, especially given, like, Wilder Joshua, You mentioned Rolly and Ryan and Devin Haney, that whole thing, like that fell apart.
Yeah.
And now Devin Haney is fighting Brian Norman Jr., which
That's a good fight.
we're going to find out if Brian Norman Jr. is really that dude at this level and if Devin Haney is even still at this level. Like that's an interesting fight from a lot of different angles that we'll have time to talk about. But for this particularly, it was just weird, the end of that. But regardless, I thought it was a great performance from Subriel, a great performance from Alberto Puello, a great fight. I think Puello should be right back in the title picture. Mike Coppinger actually reported that he talked to Turkin that Alberto Puello will get a shot at the winner of Dalton Smith and Subriel Matias. So I think from a just boxing standpoint, like a rules standpoint, having the mandatory here is fine. I also think this is a thing where you don't tell Subriel in front of everybody in the arena, especially in his second language, a language that he doesn't speak that much. Like you're forcing him to fight Dalton Smith in November. Like if he entertains the Alberto Puello rematch in public, then at the end of the night, you pull him aside and be like, yo, so I know, but like, here's the plan. We're going to have you fight Dalton Smith. And if you win that, then we'll run back Puello. Like you just handle it in like the back in a way that's not potentially demeaning in front of everybody. It's just weird. But again, he's not necessarily like, you know, um, business savvy in that way. He's just kind of like, oh, like I'm just gonna like just be super impulsive, and I have a lot of money, so I can do whatever I want. Tony Ayo says, what happened to Liam Paro? Well, Richardson Hitchens happened to Liam Paro. So question mark. Ryan Shepard says, if I'm Hitchens, I avoid Matias like the plague. If Shakur is super Tevin Farmer, Matias is super Gustavo Lemos. I think what I think Subriel Matias is. He might be
What?
super. He might be super Isak Cruz. That sounds disrespectful to Isak Cruz, but I've said
No, I
here.
don't know.
I've said here. I think he would beat Isak Cruz because I think the volume and with the height and reach is too much because Isak Cruz is like 4'11". You know what I mean? Like Subriel Matias is close to 6 feet tall. And Tyrone says Dalton Smith is going to get knocked out. I think Dalton Smith and Subriel Matias is a really interesting fight. It's the thing with Subriel Matias is he gets hit. So, but Dalton Smith, I mean, I don't think he's Shakur Stevenson defensively. So that's an entertaining fight. I gotta see how I feel about that one though. I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna lean with Subriel, but Dalton Smith he's got some pop, man. He's got some pop. He's got some skill. But he hasn't fought like the most amazing competition. He beat like an old Jose Zepeda, and I think that's probably his best win to this point.
Yeah. Someone Tyrone the Great called him Super Isaac.
Yeah.
Super Isaac Cruz. I'll say this. I mean, Super Matias and Isaac Cruz do have similar fight styles, but I do think that Super Matias can cut off a ring. Like we've seen him do it before.
He did it today.
Yeah. Whereas Isaac Cruz, like not so much, very one dimensional, but a very exciting fighter. Very fun to watch. And he's a guy that could sell out like an arena. Like he has the star power. He's good for boxing as well. I don't have much to say about this fight except for I wish we could get a rematch because the first fight was so entertaining. So that's my only thing about it. And I think fans are left also because it was a majority decision victory, by the way. And I do feel like some fans thought Puello won. Some fans were like, nah, Matias won. Yeah, fans like thought it was a draw. So I think we're just kind of stuck with that. And then, Turk's already made other plans. But I do think the, Dalton Smith fight is going to be entertaining. But I just would have preferred the rematch. Now, we got the 140-pound rankings up right now. And Brian, I know you're going to go through this, but
this is going to be quick.
yeah.
Also of note, this is going to be in November, supposedly, in Riyadh, which I'm like, it's kind of an eye roll for me. I kind of wish it was in the UK or Puerto Rico or, somewhere else where like you could have, because if Subriel Matias is a champion, like, okay, the champion should then defend where they have, I mean, I get the neutral site defense, but like New York is available, Puerto Rico's available, Florida's available, the UK is available. I feel like it should be one of those areas, Vegas maybe even. But we'll see it in Saudi because that's what he wants. WBC rankings: Dalton Smith, Sandor Martin second. Subriel Matias versus Sandor Martin.
I don't think that I don't think anyone wants to see that. But I love Sandor Martin. He's one of the of such a tricky fighter, such a crafty fighter. But I don't think that's the fight to make. But Subriel Matias and Isaac Cruz would be great.
Isaac Cruz is here. Arno Barbosa, Liam Paro, Tyrone. There he is.
Yo, by the way, Isaac Cruz and Subriel Matias. That's Mexico versus Puerto Rico.
That's the fight that look, Dalton Smith is the mandatory, but I don't know how boxing hasn't figured out a way within the last year or two to make Subriel Matias versus Isaac Cruz. Granted, they were not always in the same weight class, but now that they are, figure it out. Figure it out. That's a fight that you can put easily in New York, in Florida, in Chicago, in Vegas. That's in Puerto Rico, in Mexico. That's an easy fight to make. I don't know how we haven't gotten there yet.